Hey guys, welcome back to the FACEIT Challenger Invitationals number 2. I am Vince Metuz Hill. This guy over here is James Stress O'Leary, and we are ready to jump into the next game, which isn't actually going to be one of our scheduled ones. Instead, TFS have very kindly opted to sacrifice their free time in lieu of the previous game that unfortunately NIP were disqualified from after their jungler didn't show up.
Yeah, we had a couple of little issues there with NIP, so unfortunately, I mean, we really wouldn't have liked to have DQ'd NIP from the tournament because it's not exactly the best case scenario for anybody involved, but, I mean, it had to be done. They were an hour late on still not being ready for the game.
And just for two reasons. One is rules are rules. You know what time you have to show up for. You don't show up, something has to happen.
Yeah.
And secondly as well, if you don't show up for an hour, that's going to delay every other game as a result afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a twofold problem. The admins decided to give NIP, I feel, a very adequate amount of time to sort their stuff out. And after an hour, they still weren't there. So instead, as you can see, we're filling in some time here with viewers versus TFS.
Yeah, TFS has been put into the bans for TFS. Over on the other side.
TSM.
Yep. Standard. People are going to get new things to put in their bans list.
Yeah, although at least TSM isn't vulgar or profane in any way. It definitely beats some of the stuff I've seen before.
Yeah.
While casting, which is quite awkward. But regardless, the bans are Alistair. I say bans, of course I meant pick.
Yep.
It's been a weird day so far. Alistair first pick in from TFS, and LeBlanc and Sivir for the viewers.
Yeah, so I wonder whether that'll be... it looks like viewers once again are going to be taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas TFS, not so much in our last game.
I can understand why they'd want to take it seriously, though, because it's a chance to, in front of 2,000 odd people, however many are watching right now, to see if they can go toe-to-toe with effectively semi-pro players.
Yeah. But
the other thing is that TFS clearly aren't going to be playing their A game. So.
Yeah. Well, TFS don't want that Blitzcrank being a factor in the hands of their enemy again.
Yep.
So they're going to take that one away. What we did learn in the last game is you can't fountain dive twice and still win the game.
Yeah, they did actually lose. I already forgot they lost the last game because I assumed they'd won. My brain kind of switched off. But that, of course, amazing play from Pandas, picking up the Nexus Towers. Ex-Pandas, as we called it.
Well, his name was EXE Pandas.
Yeah. So he's living up to his name. Yeah. And he did manage to basically win his team the game. And a lot of that, though, was down to the fact that TFS kind of trolled for a bit too long.
A little bit.
And it bit them in the backside.
Yeah, we'll see whether they take this one seriously at all. They've got 2 supports locked in, and I guess you could go... Okay, that's a Poppy lock-in.
Well, yes, it definitely is. And Poppy is a character that I can not remember seeing in competitive play for pretty much ever. Okay,
so we've got a 5 support composition here. When you take into account that Edward keeps hovering over Poppy whenever looking for supports. So yeah, I'm going to go with that they're running a 5 support composition here. Hooks and spears. And
They definitely have an interesting composition to dive with as well if they want to, because Poppy's ultimate, of course, will effectively give her invulnerability for everyone else that she hasn't targeted. So you can go super, super deep with a Poppy.
Yeah, you can. We'll see what the last pickup for our viewers is going to be. Looking likely to be a support, unless we're seeing support LeBlanc, which would be ironic in a game with Yarrow in.
Yes.
But... normally that would be Yarrow picking that up. I have a feeling it's likely to be Leona.
So they really are going for a serious comp here. That comp is AoE focused. You've got the double lockdown from Joven and also Leona. You've got Jax, who's able to jump in as well with the counter strike, and then Sivir is just a top tier AD carry pick alongside LeBlanc and mid.
Yeah, and of course Jax is going to scale pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that if TFS mess around for too long, Jax is going to become relevant again.
Definitely will become so, and Jax is going to rip through pretty much everyone on TFS's team. No one's going to be able to deal with him.
Yeah, it will be certainly difficult to deal with for TFS against our viewers. We'll see whether they take this one a little bit more seriously. My guess is no on this one.
Yeah, I don't expect to see TFS coming out and playing the most serious game of their lives. Let's put it that way. But it definitely did backfire on them last time around. Although I don't think they're going to care too much. They just got a bye against Ninjas in Pajamas, who won the last FACEIT Challenger Invitational.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good result for them. I mean, you have to feel that TFS would have thought they would have won that game anyway. Yeah. Which, would have been entirely possible. We talked earlier about how good TFS are as a team. So the result could have been the same anyway. Who knows?
That's very, very true.
Unfortunately, we'll never know.
Yes, and it is very unfortunate because we were both really anticipating that first game.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go, we were like, wow, that's a cracker to start off with. Fortunately, never came to fruition.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed on that one.
Yep, very sad. Sad, sad, sad. But instead, we do have these custom games that we're currently running through. I believe this will be the last one because the next game is scheduled to start at 1 p.m. local time, which is 12 if you're from England.
Yeah, being British, we always...
Yes, we do.
We always go, what's that in UK time? Okay. Even if it's, a Korean event or... Because now I'm used to using CET now. Because for esports, it's kind of like everybody just uses CET and Pacific time. And so I'm kind of used to it, but I'm still like, okay, well, I guess we'll have that in British time as well.
See, because I've gone to Finland, I became less used to it.
Oh, okay.
Because Finland's an hour ahead of CET.
Ah, yeah.
And 2 hours ahead of GMT. So it definitely does get quite strange, especially on the flight over here. It was like the flight, I read on the sheet, this is completely off topic, but we're filling in dead time. How are you going to analyze this game? It said that the flight took off at 12 and landed at 12:30. And I was like, there's no way that's a 30-minute flight.
30-minute flight.
From Helsinki to Copenhagen. But it was a time difference.
How does that work?
The more you know.
How does time difference work? Maths, numbers.
It's just one of those things that eludes us. But while we do have some downtime, let's talk again about the FACEIT platform because it's awesome. Let's be honest. Let's be frank. Completely free. You can go on there, play against players of equal skill level, and you do get yourself some FACEIT points, which you can then redeem for awesome prizes.
Yep, pretty sweet prizes. Keyboards, mice, headsets, a car. Just casually mix that in. Just a car.
Because that's the natural progression from a mouse to a car.
Gaming peripherals is the next step.
Yeah.
Driving peripherals.
You do need 5 million of the points, though, to be fair. So you are going to need to put a lot of time in. But again, it's free, so get cracking.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you equate that to, FACEIT points are a lot easier to come by than money as well. So, because you can just win games in a free-to-play game like League of Legends and win points and then get a car. So you really don't need to really pay anything. I mean, premium membership would help, I have a feeling, to FACEIT. But, I mean, you can go from not having any money to having a car if you just grind out games.
Kind of the same as League of Legends in that way, that there's no premium account, but you can buy skins if you like the game. Yeah. But you can also just play for free and enjoy the game that way too. And also, important to note that FACEIT's not just for League of Legends. It's also for Quake and CSGO.
Yes.
So if you're watching this and you're an avid Quake or CSGO player, you can also bag yourself some goodies that way.
I don't know anybody who's been playing CSGO recently.
Apart from us.
No.
All the time.
No, it's okay. We play League.
We do.
League and CS. In fact, I play Quake as well from time to time. I'm terrible at it and definitely should not try and 1v1 Sturmy or any of the guys here at FACEIT who just so happen to be pretty darn good at Quake too. But
yeah. Sturmy's pretty much like...
I've heard he's good.
I've heard he's pretty good. Only on his good days, though.
That's... Wow.
What is it? He's like the second most successful player ever after Fatality. Something like that. He's just like insanely successful. And actually, I'm getting a bit more confidence here because we do have a diamond from last season.
Oh, okay.
And 3 plats.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, I've always felt that the platinum border kind of blends in with a diamond border as well. So, you can have like 4 diamonds and a plat, and you kind of just blend in. Yeah. That's what I did at the end of last season as well. I was like...
That's what you kept telling yourself.
Yeah, I'm like...
I blend in.
I'm diamond because everyone around me is diamond.
Please
and I just
accept
look
me.
similar.
And the last kite's probably feeling like the last kid to be picked at school because he's silver.
Well, he is the last kite.
Yes, and he played last game as well.
He did.
Syndra.
He did. And, I think he picked up a couple of kills in that game as well.
He did.
So we'll see whether he can do the same again.
was going to check to see if this is all the same players, but it's not. I think it's just the last kite that managed to get through to the second consecutive game. I'm a bit sad because a guy called Samuel L. Jackson joined the lobby.
Oh, yeah.
And then he quit. And I so wanted to cast Samuel L. Jackson.
That would have been difficult not to make Pulp Fiction references.
Missed opportunities.
And I feel like 12:30, just after midday, is not the right time to be making Pulp Fiction references.
True that. I would have had to have watched what I said for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, though. It's so good. But as you can see, the team of TFS have gone for a full support comp, as you mentioned before. This isn't completely unseen. I've seen this a couple times in the past. It never worked.
Do you know what? It worked. I remember playing against a full support comp. It was a normal, so it wasn't even that good. And it did work, because they had so many shields and so much health. I think I remember someone was talking about it with Hexakill, which, again, completely off the point. Why aren't we playing Hexakill?
Not 6 members of TFS.
Not 6 members of TFS. Damn.
We could always get a fan to play on their team. It's a bit too late now.
I mean, they've already got Yarrow, so that's one.
That is true. And they also have their support. They have their support.
I was just making a joke about Yarrow not being very good, but
yeah.
I'm good friends with Yarrow, so
so he says.
Just to keep that,
just so you know.
Just the more you know.
Yeah.
Just so that it doesn't. That caster BM'd Yarrow. It's completely verbal abuse.
You did used to manage him.
Yeah.
In Team Dignitas UK, so you do definitely have a history with him.
Yeah, we do have a rapport, but we'll see whether he can keep going as we head into the game. We are loaded in, as you can see behind us. Let's get on to the Rift for our viewers' game number 2.
Yes, we will indeed. TFS jumping on out right now. So let's make sure that we try and sort this game out well and truly from TFS point of view, because last time they threw it. I mean, there's no easy way to say it. They threw the game completely. I don't know if they cared much about throwing the game, though.
Yeah. Again, FACEIT points should have been on the line.
Yeah,
I'm
I feel
just saying it.
I feel it's a good call, because then maybe they'd have pulled their finger out.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, spear gonna land. Not quite doing too much damage. It's an early game Nidalee, so not the most potent. But I feel like, it could have been a good boost towards, especially if it was like double or nothing. That could have been a lot of points towards a car.
That is true.
For our viewers that would have won.
That is very true. But then TFS would have probably tried very, very hard. Because in fairness to them, yes, they did lose the last game, but they had Vel'Koz support, which strangely enough did really well.
Yep.
And they had Jace, Jace, Riven, Renekton, and Lee Sin, 2 smites, 1 clairvoyant / clarity. We're not sure what that summoner was, because we never see it.
Yeah. Well, at least this time the summoners we know.
We do.
Yeah.
There's none out there that are really catching me off. The only one that we don't see as often is Ghost, but that's still a complete viable pick.
I still haven't seen that. Well, I mean, I haven't used Ghost too much since it changed.
Yep.
But all of these summoner icons changing kind of threw me for a loop.
Same. Oh my god, the grab actually going through there onto Civi, who's going to be the recipient of the first blood. So that's going to be first blood for Thresh.
And Flash Pulverize came out from Alistair there, so making sure they got that one. Looking now to steal away the blue buff.
And I can't see why they wouldn't get this, but just going back onto what you said before, I remember when the summoner spells changed, and I honestly thought that Barrier and Flash were the same thing. Because they looked identical.
I think I remember having this conversation.
Or was it Smite and Barrier? There's something that was so close that I actually picked. It was Smite. I picked Smite in a ranked game, thinking it was Barrier, and I got flamed out of the game. People report this scrub, and I actually think I got 9 reports. Sad times.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be, and won't be the last time.
I would hope it would be the last time. Tribunal surely should be working.
Dude, if you accidentally make a mistake in this game, you can easily get 9 reports.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's sad times.
I think we should 9 times Yarrow from the last game from
That's
dying.
true. 12 and 1 still can't carry his team.
Exactly.
That's why he's a support, ladies and gentlemen. Can't carry.
Wow, bad manner.
Whereas you can say you've got a relationship with him. I don't really know Yarrow, so maybe I shouldn't be saying stuff like that. I'm sure he can take it as jest, though. I hope he can.
I hope so, too.
Does he hold grudges?
Probably. I mean,
brilliant. Well, I just burnt that bridge. On to Crazy Caps in mid, who is actually going to be burnt down from Ignite and just get taken out from LeBlanc, who was the diamond from last season. So
yes.
We could be seeing the carry bag really tensely put on the back of LeBlanc here.
Yeah, and we've all seen how LeBlanc can carry. Ooh, good play combination there.
It was. Grab in from Zerius as well. And that is Hook City at bot lane. That's Death Sentence plus the grab is really actually quite terrifying to play against.
The worrying thing if you're TFS is you don't have a lot of early game damage at all.
True. That is true. And they're not even... Well, actually, Thresh is going AD carry. And Thresh AD carry isn't the craziest thing. Speaking of which, he could actually be falling down. Flashing from #Palam. And they do take that one down. Flag and drag from Amigo. Doesn't manage to land it. And Zerius, wowzers. That was a country mile off.
Yeah, that's not the closest of hooks on that one either. And, you know, I'm a little bit worried for this. 2 kills to 1 up in favor of our viewers. Yeah, only a very small goal difference at this point in time. But I have to feel the composition really does lend its favor to our viewers here.
Definitely does. In every stage of the game, I'd have to say. I can't see a stage of the game where TFS have the best composition. Last kite is going to be falling. That's Ghost. And Godbro is looking to rinse and repeat from last game. Zerius has been caught on bot lane as well. And Sivir does manage to get some revenge from that first blood that she received. Now going to be chasing after Santrin, who has double buffs. Nice boomerang blade there.
Nailing it. Gets the damage down from the boomerang blade. Now, one thing to take into account is this LeBlanc is going to deal a significant amount of damage, especially being in the hands of a diamond player. That's somebody that we know is competent when it comes to ability management, because LeBlanc's not the most straightforward of champions when it comes to actually using abilities.
That's very
true. Of course, the using the second charge, well, the charge of the ultimate to duplicate an ability is kind of it depends on really what you want to do with it. If you start using distortion too many times, you just lose track of where you are, and it's like, crazy.
And if you make one mistake in that combo, you can actually get yourself killed.
Yep.
Like outright. Flash out from Godbro, Flag and Dragon from Amigo, who's actually going to take a bit more damage than I think he was expecting there. But if you do mess up that combo, you can actually find yourself dead. Like, straight up dead.
Yep, and that's not what you want as a LeBlanc, because I think one of the things that I really judge LeBlanc lanes on is how many times LeBlanc died in lane, which sounds really strange, but a lot of people feel that if you end a LeBlanc lane as the opponent to LeBlanc without dying, you're fine. I feel like LeBlanc is only weak if you don't get any kills on her. I mean, you can still as in if she dies multiple times as well with that.
Well, speaking of death, has been caught out here from Thresh. Ignite comes down, and Euro will pick up his second kill. He is going the AD carry route of Thresh, which, I'll be honest, actually isn't that bad. I've done it myself. I've seen a lot of players taking Thresh AD. Of course, it's not the top tier pick, but it's not complete garbage either.
Well, we'll see how it does as there's the roam on. Headbutt comes out.
Yep. Interesting play from Euro. Got to get those minions away. Looks like Last Kite is going to find himself pushed against that wall. Here comes the Pulverized as well. Last Kite will be falling.
Godbro picks that one up for himself. Euro not feeling too confident on Thresh. I mean, that flay was interesting.
It was optimistic.
It was.
Maybe hoping that for some reason Last Kite decided to flash back onto Thresh. I don't
Hey,
really
you know, if that had worked, everyone would have been like, oh my god.
Yeah, it
so
would have
good,
been the second coming of Mad Life.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
I know what you wanted to say there. I think I know what you wanted to say.
I don't know what I was going to say. But TFS are looking aggressive in the middle lane. Crazy Caps has been caught out.
Crazy Caps, though, the maneuverability from that Cougar form is going to be really difficult to catch up with. LeBlanc jumping in, does land the combo and the Ignite. Beautiful play. Amigo takes that one down. Now, Zerius in 1 versus 2 situation, but with Pepsi so low here, he can't really do a great deal there. Santrin from the side, and the cow will get that kill. There's the Death Sentence living up to its name, and a double kill for Alistar.
I figured out why, Diamond rank, but somewhat unknown. It's because not going to be able to compete in Riot's Challenger League with a name like PepsiCito.
That's true.
Being sponsored by Coke Zero.
It directly conflicts with their interests.
Yep. It'd be interesting to know whether that would actually result in a name change.
I've heard name changes for a lot less than that, to be fair, that were enforced.
True.
So it's very likely. I mean, maybe that's why Pepsi is not currently in the Challenger Series.
It could be indeed. Godbro, however, going to use his ultimate. I'm not sure it's the best ultimate to be used in a 1v1, but want to just light up the Last Kite.
Wanted to add some flair to that fight at top lane. Here comes Palom from the side. FACEIT, aforementioned LeBlanc firing on in. Dragon is taken down though from Santorin. Double kill on LeBlanc. This is huge. If you can get the triple kill, then that's going to be one very terrifying LeBlanc. Indeed, does secure the triple.
And kills traded in the top lane as well as a shutdown actually went over. Yeah, I was just looking for things. Yeah, killing spree went on to Godbro. And then it was shut down by our Jax in this game. So the last kite gets himself that extra gold.
Yeah, which is also going to be really nice because he just got LeBlanc, who got a triple kill. Jax has also picked up a kill of his own and the shutdown. And in actual fact, TFS being forced backwards.
Yeah, and they're losing a tower as well. They've lost the first tower of the game. So now the gold is even between these two teams.
Yes, indeed it is. So, what's the next play from TFS here? As we said before, their composition doesn't really shine at any stage of the game. Thresh AD, it's okay, but it's not going to carry games. It's not going to have that kind of terrifying factor as a fed-up Caitlyn or a fed-up Lucian or Jinx. It's just not going to do that.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything close to that, but we'll see as we go on. This composition out of TFS is not standard, to put it one way.
That's definitely one way to put it. Another is, if I saw this in solo queue, I'd rage quit. I'm pretty sure I would just dodge that champion select.
Wow. That's against the Summoner's Code.
Yeah, well, at least I don't lose the game. I'd probably lose my account, though, which is kind of worse. And the points. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't dodge it. I'd want to, though. Hallam's dead. So
he didn't dodge the spears.
He didn't. Or the box. Or the three people attacking his face.
Pretty difficult to dodge at that point,
It
I'm
is.
to be honest. Although, not too difficult to dodge that hook, because there was nobody actually there.
Certainly up the creek without a paddle. Definitely do not envy his position there, and he will be dying. Flash from Crazy Caps, I think I just saw that. Playing aggressively onto Pepsi, who again is going to maneuver his way around so well. I've got to say, this LeBlanc is impressing me quite a bit.
Yeah, actually doing a pretty good job here, and Crazy Caps has died a couple of times already in this game. Looks like TFS is going to pressure down this bottom tower, but I wonder how they're going to contend with this LeBlanc, because at 5-2, that kind of is a point that I would expect LeBlanc to be able to snowball a game from, because typically LeBlanc starts falling off when you start picking up Banshee's Veils and defensive items, and I don't know when TFS are going to get there.
And just to make matters even worse, LeBlanc has now got the components of a Deathfire Grasp and has just finished it off. So if you thought a burst damage before was terrifying to play against, it just escalated into a whole new level. That is going to be able to pop people down very quickly.
Ooh, Crazy Caps already dealing a bit of damage with those spears, but of course those are a little bit more dependent on those skill shots. LeBlanc, not quite so much. Only really the tether is a difficult one to land sometimes.
Yeah, the other ones are pretty much just point and click, and the Q is just guaranteed. But it's, as we said before, the combo, though, is the difficult part.
Is the roam guaranteed, though? Because the roam has been on here. Godbro might be in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, Jarvan deciding to face tank the spear. That is an interesting choice, but flagging and dragging his way back to safety. I say that got caught by that second spear. Will be flashing up red. PepsiTo and the last kite now going to be trying to make some plays. That is a good ultimate from Godbro. Able to turn this one back around. Takes no damage from PepsiTo. The jukes though from PepsiTo. Godbro just realized what's happened. The burst damage is phenomenally strong, but not quite enough. And now last kite's going to try his best to go in this 1 versus 2 situation. Gets the ignite kill on Godbro. But here comes the cavalry. Can they turn it around? Crazy Caps is going to go down. But as he does so, picks up the double kill there at the top lane.
Big double kill there for Crazy Caps to pick that one up. Jarvan secured himself a kill as well. And as you said, brilliant ultimate out of Poppy. Just made sure that if PepsiTo chose to use any abilities, it really would have done nothing. And then being on cooldown leaves him fairly useless. Yarrow going aggressive in the bottom lane here.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful death sentence, threading that one through. Ignite's been popped as well. Forces the flash instantly from Sivir. Flay not going to be long enough range, so Sivir will manage to escape.
Yeah, I'm glad Flay's not that range.
That would be crazy.
Kind of crazy. Yeah.
That would be the most OP thing ever. Like just a global Flay from Thresh. Because
can you imagine that as an ability? Everybody just gets pulled, regardless of where you are on the map.
Well, just imagine the Baron fight, and then suddenly everyone just gets pulled away.
Shifts like
Just
a third of a screen.
A tsunami of a flay just comes through and levels everything. Boxers came down onto Amigo. Thresh in a 1 versus 2. Box, I thought that Sivir was going to walk into that second wall there, but in fact just waited that one out. Here comes Death Sentence. Can he turn this one back around? That's the damage of Thresh on AD carry. Does quite a bit there. Beautiful pull-in from Xerius. Will keep Yarrow alive. And you saw, with the E, it stacks up with AD. And that's why AD Thresh isn't the worst thing in the world.
Oh, Pepsito managed to get himself away from that one.
He's played really well. Palom is finding himself Yarrow here. He's been ignited. He is going to fall, but Palom now in a precarious position to say the least, and somewhat reminiscent of the play we saw at bot lane when he's surrounded by 3 players and died.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to get out when you're surrounded by 3 players.
Yep.
But they did, in fact, take him down. And now will turn their attention to the middle lane turret. So TFS wanting to accelerate their lead on turrets. They equaled the turrets and then went above by picking up a second. Now they picked up a third. All of the outer towers are now down.
Yep, and this is one of the ways of making a composition work that ordinarily wouldn't. Is just super aggressive on objectives, but here comes Pepsito, going to be nuking down Xerius, who will be falling from that Ignite, I believe it was, and now turning his attention on towards Santorin, who's quite tanky for this stage of the game. Does manage to headbutt away. Pepsito is going to jump back in again and picks up the kill.
Now, Crazy Caps is chasing down the last kite in the top lane, lands the Ignite. Oh! Oh, you were out. You dodged it and you moved back in.
I don't always flash, but when I do, it's into a spear. How did Jack survive that? I thought the Ignite would take him.
I think the spear didn't quite do enough damage. It was, you know, within 50 to 100 damage away from killing him.
Yeah, he was really, really close. And speaking of Jax, we mentioned this before, that even if the last kite had a pretty terrible start, I mean, 63 CS at 15.5 minutes isn't the greatest of starts, he is still going to be relevant late game. As soon as he gets some items, he is going to be terrifying to play against.
Yeah, he's going to get that. I agree with you on that one, but does need to actually find the late game. Godbro going to use that ultimate. It's not going to keep him alive for too long. Is it enough to get him to safety, though? Yes, it is.
Oh, beautiful. Pulverized headbutt combination picks up one. There's the solar flare. Didn't manage to land onto Yarrow. Flash through from Godbro. Remember, did use the ultimate before, but Amigo's not really doing any damage. He's pretty much went for a strange pickup there. And will be falling as a result. Palom gets through to safety, but that javelin is going to be coming in. Does not land, however, though, onto Leona, but it's Nidalee. You're not going to be able to escape that one.
Yeah, too little, too late for Leona. That's going to last a while, though, that fight. Leona's pretty tanky, but Pepsito picks himself up another kill.
And Crazy Caps decides he's had enough and does finish off that kill. Pepsito is now going for the second kill onto Blitzcrank, who's doing quite a bit of damage as well. Xerius is going for a bit of the Mana Moon, it appears to be. Thrash goes in to shut down the kill onto Pepsito, which is a really good pickup here, actually, from TFS.
Yarrow's loving flaying minions today.
He is.
Wants to make sure that they're not going to their destination.
Cataclysm onto Crazy Caps. Flag and Drag not able to connect. And again, Amigo, even when he lands his abilities, he's just not strong enough to follow up on them. It's like you get the abilities down, and then you just have to back away.
Got deja vu, though. You know what's really good for pushing towers? Jax.
True.
You know how TFS lost the last game?
Expanders.
Yep. Pushing towers.
Aatrox.
Yeah.
Similar. Very, very similar. Will they make the same mistake?
Well, Jax is significantly better at doing it, to be honest, as you get later and later.
Oh, is Yarrow going to be able to survive this one? Nope. Gets silenced and then crushed from Pepsito. Tried the death sentence and jump onto White Wraith, but will be falling.
Ooh.
Oh, Crazy Caps with the long-range missile does pick up the kill onto Jarvan.
Premonition on the camera work there. So, could see that one coming a mile off. Unfortunately, Amigo couldn't.
It's almost like it's directed cam on. Your face says it all.
Hooking the Wraith over the back of the wall.
Worth. Definitely worth.
Got it.
The mana. He's actually going for mana rune. Yeah, he's finished it off now, so it's a pretty good item on Blitzcrank if you're going to go damage. Because he's quite a mana-intensive champion.
Yeah, that is pretty true. And of course that mana shield as well is the mana barrier for when you start dropping low. Gonna give you that extra boost.
True. Basically 2 lives.
Yeah, basically.
It's going to be... it's not quite 2 lives.
Close enough, you know.
Yeah, close enough. Civi gets caught there from Santrin. Fail flash against the wall, and that's going to spell the end of her life. FACEIT again manages to actually catch onto Yero, who this time around is going to be turning with vengeance. Yes, Static Shiv and Blade of the Rune King will do that. Wow.
Just throwing that whip round, that chain.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that was some pretty fast whipping.
It certainly was stress. Last guy has been caught here at the top lane. Does not manage to finish off his combo from Santrin. Palom, however, has found himself 2 players. They're going to be both Yero and Crazy Caps. He's been ignited. The long-range javelin does not connect, but there's Thresh again. Zerius is going to fall to the ignite from Last Kite.
Thought the heal might have been enough, not quite. That's such a funny animation to see at that speed. Oh!
Wow. FACEIT is a really good player, I've got to say. I kind of feel a bit sorry for him, because he's trying his best to carry his team here. But there's only so much you can do. Santrin has been caught and should be equating into a kill. Instead, he's actually going to try to pick up some of those wraiths, and a long-range javelin again connects on its target. FACEIT very nearly falls.
It's very difficult not to let out a cry when you see a spear land.
It hurts.
It's worse when you're the one getting hit by the spear, because, you know, then it hurts you.
It's the anticipation, though, from a caster's viewpoint, that you can see the spear's trajectory, and you're like, is it going to hit or isn't it? And when it does, it's satisfying and also quite sickening at the same time. Whereas when you're on the receiving end, it's just like, oh my god, half my health just disappeared. Crazy Caps has been caught, though, from Last Kite. Finds himself in a 1v4, and Civic getting the shutdown.
Good roaming out of our viewers here, just to keep themselves busy across the map. Hook lands onto Jarvan, but, you know, Blitzcrank not with the most amount of damage right now, even though he has that mana immunity.
Oh, Godbro going in without any mana. This is an interesting choice. Well, yeah, why not? If you've got a Ghost, you can just troll them, run right through, or just die.
Yeah, that is 5 members of our viewers team. That is all of our viewers team here in that bottom side of the map. Which leaves Centaur a little bit of room to head up towards the top lane. But does that open up Dragon in 1 minute 30?
They're definitely wanting to dance for a long time. Amigo's gone in, but there's Zerius and Yero. But they were like aiming for that Dragon as Thresh has managed to land the death sentence. Now they're jumping in. There's the box utilized as well. Last Kite is trying to run away, but there's Crazy Caps. Nice flash. Quick reactionary play there. But it's interesting they both lined up for the Dragon dance like a minute 30 before it came through. Last Kite, that hurt.
Look, they can dance if they want to.
Yeah. It's... Oh. You can also eat spears if you want to. That's a thing.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Oh!
Eat all the spears. Crazy Caps and FACEIT going on. And that is going to be FACEIT taking down that kill. And 1-on-1 suddenly turned into a 1v4. And that's not favorable for LeBlanc, who will be falling. But they definitely could dance. You're right.
They could. Lich Bane has been picked up onto Poppy.
It's a good item.
So as soon as he landed that headbutt, the follow-up auto attack is going to decimate whoever it touches.
That attack speed from Yero is ridiculous.
It's so funny.
It's like he's lassoing above his head. He's doing it so often. Just lasso of death.
He's gonna. If that attack speed gets to 2.5, I feel like it's gonna work like a helicopter and it'll take off.
That's very possible.
I mean, maybe the Thresh Express has expanded so that now it's not just a train. It's actually they now do flights.
Also a helicopter.
Also a helicopter. Yeah, just hang on.
I would love to see that made a skin. The AD carry Thresh Express helicopter skin. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it?
No, not quite.
Well, Pepsi just rolled off his mortal coil because that's 3 players attacking him. And Death Sentence goes through. Don't think Civia's going to survive. Oh my goodness, Santrin. That was mainly, I think, Poppy's damage though from Lich Bane that proc through with a Q.
Yeah, it's a surprising amount of damage actually. I mean, Lich Bane, Ravenous Hydra. I mean, not the best synergy in the world, but it means those auto attacks are going to hit for a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Tons, you might say.
Could say tons. I winced there because I saw literally absolutely cripple Jarvan. Like, that was a 3/4 spear, I think. Quite insane. But Yero with that attack speed is going to pick up the tower, and I wonder, this time around, has Zero learned from his mistakes?
I hope so. I also hope he picks up a Zephyr, so we do see extra attack. Good flay.
Yeah, very nicely played that. So yeah, it could be Zephyr. Oh my goodness. I just saw you literally go back in your chair with disgust.
Yep. That was a good hook into a spear combo, but yeah, that's a lot of damage right now.
So it could be Zephyr. Maybe something like Triforce.
Well, I'm wondering what he's going to pick up. He's going to Vamp Scepter, so I guess it's just going to be Bloodthirster. But I would like to see more attack speed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Bloodthirster. That won't give him attack speed. You're never going to take off with that.
It'll give him damage, though. So that Laster is now going to be really quite devastating to play against. Crazy Cap's a bit too ballsy, a bit too aggressive, and will find himself dead from FACEIT. And they're constantly, almost like an IV drip, right into the heart of FACEIT, giving him a constant feed of kills. It's like, we want there to be a bit of excitement in this game, so we'll keep giving your ridiculously fed AP mid even more kills. But I don't know if she can do it by herself.
Yeah, now 12,000 gold is the lead. Oh, headbutted into the Baronet.
That's definitely a Baron fight kicking off. Last guy has been ulted from Poppy. Here comes a plethora of damage. Blitzcrank of all players is going to pick up that first kill. Gets the double kill, actually. Oh, we're going to see another Blitzcrank triple. No, we're not. Thrash goes in to pick up that one. And now Yero is batting down the Baron. FACEIT's burst damage is insane, but not quite enough to secure that kill. Here comes LeBlanc, has picked up 2 kills. Can you rinse and repeat? No, you can't. And that will be the shutdown from Santorin.
Nobody's going to get the Baron, though. There's
True.
nobody around to pick that one up. With an exposed inhibitor in the middle lane as well. I wonder when TFS are going to find their way across there to take that down.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Spell Shield would be useful right about now.
Are those magnetic spears?
I think they might be.
Are they like zooming onto Sivir's armor? Because that was, oh my God, this is, I'm actually wincing. Every time one lands, there's another one. And the Ignite. Can Crazy Caps connect the 3rd dot in a row? No.
Oh, got the minion.
Kills a minion though.
Got the minion.
Not completely wasted. Crazy Caps is now being attacked by FACEIT. Turns around and demolishes in Cougar form. Solar Flare and the Cataclysm. Was that? No, it wasn't. It was just the flag and drag from Migo to take down the kill. That's the important thing about Nidalee. A lot of players just think she's all about the javelin, but in Cougar form, does a lot of burst damage as well.
Yeah, surprising amount actually, and especially one that's quite as fed as Crazy Caps is.
Yep.
Will be outputting quite a lot of damage.
So, last guy has been caught atop. Still hasn't reached that stage where Jax is terrifying.
He's a little way off that.
Just a Triforce, really.
Gonna be honest.
Yeah. Oh, flashes in though to try and secure the kill onto Zerios, and there's the Mana Moon shield we were talking about before. Not enough to keep him alive this time around, but here comes Sivir from the backside. Ultimate used from Poppy. The damage is so high, but didn't quite have enough HP.
Now, was that mana barrier enough time bought that they can take down the Baron?
Looks likely. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Yeah, go with yes.
Yeah, that certainly was a Baron from Santorin. And 11 kills advantage from TFS. That being said, they had about 15 to 30 kill. I say that because I really can't remember how many kills were in the previous game, and they still lost.
There were a lot.
Yeah, there were an awful lot.
That's now a number. A lot is now a number.
You should trademark that.
Yep.
TM.
Just inventing numbers.
The James Trump strikes again. Trademarking a lot. As a number. FACEIT has a lot of kills.
I would order a cease and desist. That is now my word.
Wow. Scumbag. Has a voice staff as well, so he's going to be puncturing through everybody. And the second needs a large reward, so you think Rabadon's Death Cap or Zhonya's here?
I feel like it's probably going to be a Rabadon's. I don't know whether it's... I don't want to say too little too late because he's still outputting so much damage.
God. That was nearly, literally 100 to 0 spear. And I say nearly, I think he had like 50 hit points left.
Yeah, I think that might... I think it's even Sonya's wouldn't have saved him yet. The thing with it, the thing is right now, Crazy Cap's throwing spears out so often that if you Zhonya's, it means you're going to get hit by the second spear.
Yeah.
You'll dodge the first, but you'll just stay in place for the second one. So I don't even know. It's going to be a Banshees.
Well, they are going to be engaging what could be the last fight here from both these teams. Godbro does get snared across there from LeBlanc, and there's the Javelin not able to land. The hook also goes slightly a miss, but they do pick up that kill, and Javelin is going to be dead for the next 27 seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be an inhibitor for sure. I wonder whether they'll look to pick anything else up. Godbro just manages to dodge the tether out from LeBlanc, but there is the inhibitor. Have they learned their lesson?
Oh, Sivir hasn't. You have a spell shield. Press E, please. Like, whatever. Pepsito's gone in. Going to be caught out of position and should be falling as a result. Godbro chasing after him. There's the Javelin landing. 11 for 8. I actually thought Nedley had a much higher amount of kills than that in this game. Than 11-8.
TFS are looking to go aggressive, but there's a Cataclysm.
Yes, it is. Last Kite will be chasing himself back towards that fountain. Double kill from Alistair, looking for the triple, but Poppy comes in to secure that kill. And are they going to tower dive? Are they going to fountain dive, I should say? There's no more towers left.
Have they see, now they've got enough hooks. Ooh. Even on the fountain, that's doing a lot of damage. But, you know, super minions now in the base.
Crazy Cap's taking this opportunity for target practice. That we could finish the game, but I need to practice my javelins. Flash in, Xeris is dead.
Didn't quite land the hook, but this time there are super minions enough to close out the game. So this time TFS not letting the viewers get away with a backdoor.
Yeah, that must have hurt them pretty hard.
It must have. Almost as much as those games did.
Almost as much as those javelins did.
Yep.
As well, and I agree with what you said. It was difficult watching at times, but as we say, you know, Ninjas of Pajamas, they got disqualified for not showing up with all 5 players, and we needed to fill in the time. So TFS, again, big thanks to them. You can follow them at The Fox Sound on Twitter, Facebook, and such for sacrificing their free time to make sure that we managed to get some content out there.
Yeah, and I think we're happy to tell you that we're just at about time for our second best of 3 scheduled for the day. So we're going to prepare ourselves for what is kind of the beginning, but should be game number 2 of the tournament. So stay with us. I believe it is Gamers 2 versus Unicorns of Love taking place in just a few minutes here from the FACEIT Challenger Invitational number 2. We'll be back with an awesome best of 3.